we mentioned about the idea of working on a Midda. Of course, like anything else, there's so many Middas to work on. Where do we start? That's the question. But the secret is over here is, again, tafasta, muta, tafasta. Take something small. That was the idea we mentioned about the concept of Zerika. We can't do all-encompassing teshuva in one go. In our generation, the avoid is to take one thing. It's the same thing, choose one Midda. Obviously, we're looking for a Midda which is going to have the knock-on effect. There's going to be a ripple effect on all our other character traits of our personality. So the question is, do we work across our good Middas or our bad Middas? And this is the question we asked previously, Sumira Asay Toiv. So of course, you know what I'm going to say? Well, of course, we need to focus our good Middas. But the truth is, there's no such thing as a good Midda or a bad Midda. The Rambam says that all our Middas come from the four elements: air, wind, fire, and water. And therefore, and they all parts of our personality are made up. Each person is made up of a different amount of those sort of measures that we have. And therefore that will impact the personality. So, for example, really what we need to look at is what is the core, what is a Midda we want to work on, what's the source of that Midda. So for example, somebody suffers from kas, anger. So that obviously comes from fire. So that means he's expressing the trait of fire in an incorrect way. So instead he needs to use fire for a positive trait. For example, enthusiasm, passion for good things, to help people, etc., etc. Zorizas. These are all things a person can use, express it in a positive way. That's really the idea. Now the question is still now, where do we start? Where do we start? Which Midda do we work on? And I have two suggestions for you. Number one is the Rebbe behind me, Reb Kalman Shapiro, Shem Yinokin Domer, the Rebbe P.S. Etzner. He says in Chodesh HaTalmidim, Ha'ika Machanach Shloch. The main person's main teacher is himself. You know the truth. You know what Midda you need to work on. If you're still stuck, I've got another suggestion. But really, in your real true heart of hearts, you probably know. Maybe you want to verify it, but that's really a person who really knows himself. That's step number one. Step number two is acquire for yourself a friend. So Chazal tell us. And one of the reasons for friends, Rabbi Reuven says, is to help a person in his avodas Hashem. And therefore, ask a friend. Rabbi Zeev Stepsky has an amazing suggestion. If you've got the guts to do it, go for it. He says, ask 5 closest people who know you the best. Ask them, these 5 people, to write down 5 of your weaknesses and 5 of your strengths. They should send it back to you anonymously, preferably typed, you don't recognize the handwriting. 5 weaknesses and 5 strengths. Asking 5 people. Anything that comes up more than 3 times or more, you know it's true. And that will give you some sort of idea. As I said before, you really know yourself what Midda is. But this is really an idea to think I'm working through your Middas. But if I'm going to suggest, if you're not sure what Midda to work on, that I'd like to suggest something which is, I feel, fundamental and has a knock-on effect. And that is the Midda of Simcha. We know that Ariya Kodesh says that he reached his greatest levels of Torah learning and spirituality through the Midda of Simcha Shal Mitzvah. And this is something maybe how we feel. If a person is besimcha, then he's not going to get angry. A person is besimcha, he's not going to run after the tivers of this or the lust and desires after running after food or money, because he's happy. He has real true inner simcha shal mitzvah. And just some ideas, maybe in the next session we'll discuss strategies for simcha.